Hey, welcome back. It's David Sherry. This is Founder Therapy. I work with 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs to grow themselves and grow their businesses. And today I want to talk with you about the difference between intuition and fear and how you know that you're making the right decision based on where your decision is coming from. Now, I have a founder that I'm working with right now who is making an exec level hire. And this person that he's been speaking with has been very persuasive. They've been very eager for the role. They've been talking about how much they want the role, how it aligns with their lifestyle. And this founder is starting to feel a lot of pressure to make this hire. And they face this dilemma where they're not sure, do I actually want to make this hire? Because there's all these reasons why I can think that it might be good for me. In fact, I might be delaying making this hire because I'm scared and I have some fear around doing it. Or are they experiencing true intuition, which somewhere in the background is telling them, don't move forward with this person. This doesn't feel right. You're feeling pressured to move forward, even though it's not the right decision for you. So how do you tell the difference between intuition and fear? The place we can start with intuition versus fear is in your body. What I notice when I'm working with different clients is when they start speaking from a place of fear, it very much moves up into the mind. And that means that there are a lot of reasons being spoken to, right? There's a lot of reasoning going on. That means there's a lot of logic. There's a lot of sounds good for X, Y, and Z reason. I've used a pros cons list and it made sense for X, Y, and Z reason. And oftentimes there's a bit of over-explaining going on. So if you catch yourself having a lot of reasons why and a lot of justifications, in some ways, the more reasons why you need to do something, oftentimes the more you're convincing yourself for why to make a decision. On the other hand, when things are based more on intuition, they're based more in the body. Things are simpler. They feel more just like a clear direction. Go this way, do that, without any justification or reason. And that throws people off because they think it might be the opposite. But what I've found is that the actions you take without justification often are the best synthesis of all the things you should do, made simple by your body, by your nervous system, by your intuition, that helps you know which way to go. So less justification, more simplicity often means intuition. It is also often the case that your intuition rings like a bell. It has a full resonance where something about the logic still has a feeling in the background that's just not quite right to you. And so when I was speaking with this founder about the hire, there was always something going on in the background that was saying, hey, stay away, don't move forward. I know you feel bad about saying no. I know you want to fill this role and you feel pressure. I know your team has pressure on you to put the role in. But that thing in the background that you're experiencing is information for you to pay attention to. And it seems to always be there. And if you don't navigate this decision well now, unfortunately, you're going to be dealing with the consequences of that much later. So understand how something feels, how much justification is going on. And now I want to talk about something that's very tricky, which is what happens when you're moving into more unknown territory. Because when you move into unknown territory, when you move into territory that's new for you and uncomfortable, you're going to feel discomfort. And a lot of people who take action that's new, or is it a new identity that they're trying to try on, they feel discomfort. And in the moment of feeling that discomfort, we can read that discomfort as our intuition saying that this is not right for us, that this is not right for you. Problem with that is it means you avoid doing hard things that are good for you, that you think are uncomfortable, and therefore what your intuition is not saying that you should go do. So we have to understand the difference between discomfort and the feeling of being outside of our comfort zone and being stretched with intuition. So here's how you synthesize those two ideas together. If you have intuition about something, which means you want to take a step forward, and you feel very simply that this is the right thing to do, and then you take a step and feel discomfort, we need to hold to our original feeling and allow that to play out. That's because when we first have the insight or first have the idea about what we might want to do, That's when we have clarity and clearness. When we actually are in the action of doing it, we might be more clouded with fear, which doesn't mean the action is wrong. It just means we're experiencing the fear then. So in the case of this person, a good example might be they feel and know that they shouldn't hire this person. Then they are going into this comfort of telling them that they don't want to hire them, that they didn't get the job. And as this person responds back to them, and maybe they get into a dialogue about it and start to feel really uncomfortable, it's best to go back to the feeling you had originally for guidance, not in the moment of taking action and not in the moment of discomfort. So remembering that, hey, yesterday when I was thinking about this role, I knew it was not the right person to hire. We need to stay in touch with that such that we are able to follow through on something even though it's not comfortable. So discomfort can exist at the same time as you're taking action with your intuition. And it's difficult to piece these things apart or tease these things out. So I hope this helps you start to think about the difference between the two as you're making decisions this week. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, feel free to share them below. I'd love to chat with you there. And I'm back with more videos like this every week. Later.